Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates. Today I want to talk about Battlefield 1. Why? Well, because the same people who created Battlefield 1 created Star Wars Battlefront and are now working on the next Battlefront game. And a lot of you guys also requested me to make a couple of Battlefield 1 videos during the alpha, beta and release, and I will honor that request. I've been playing Battlefield 1 since the alpha, and during all this time I've stumbled across so many really good features in the game, some of which I thought, wow, this would be great to see in Star Wars Battlefront. So in this video I wanted to go over all of my favorite features in Battlefield 1 that I think would make the next Battlefront installment into the perfect sequel to the first game. Let's start off with general movement physics. This is one of the first things I thought about when I played Battlefield 1. You can run around so much more smoothly in this game compared to other games. In Battlefront you get stuck on small rocks, hills, fences or anything that is a few decimeters high, and I think anyone who has played the game knows exactly what I'm talking about. Well, just take a look at this clip from Battlefield 1. It is so much more smooth to move around. You can smash through doors while running, climb over any obstacles, including stuff like walls, and almost every time you get stuck in a position below some sort of obstacle, all you need to do is press the jump key and you will climb over. I always get surprised of how easily I can get over obstacles in this game, and the best thing if they would implement this in Battlefront is that it would limit the need to constantly have a jump pack. It would still be very good, but it wouldn't be as crucial as it is right now, because if you get stuck you can just climb out. Right now you have to kill yourself or use the jump pack to get out, or if you're just behind an obstacle you simply have to run around. Considering that the games are built in the same engine, I don't see any reason to why they would not be able to have the same smooth system as in Battlefield 1. While we're talking about physics, I thought I'd mention Levolution and how almost everything in Battlefield 1 is destructible. I think that is so much fun because it gives you such a freedom, especially if you're in a tank. You can go wherever you want, just smash through the wall, or if you see someone on the top floor of a building, well, just throw in some dynamites and blow the building up and he will die. I personally don't think that would work in a Star Wars game. We could definitely have more destruction than we currently have, but I would say that some sort of middle ground between Battlefield and Battlefront would be perfect. And to give you an example of that, we have Behemoths. These massive battleships, trains and zeppelins are given to whichever team is losing a game, and they are definitely one of the coolest additions to this game, as they give you some crazy power. And they're not only very cool, but they play a very crucial gameplay role, as they give teams that are losing a game a chance to actually make a comeback with the help of these behemoths. And when these are destroyed, they stay and still affect the gameplay, which is especially noticeable with the zeppelins, as they just crash straight down and destroy whatever is in their way, and the skeleton from the zeppelin will stay there for the rest of the game. Imagine having these type of behemoths in Battlefront. Although a Star Destroyer might be a bit too big, I'm sure there are other ships or vehicles that could work. Maybe even AT-ATs could fit as behemoths on some maps and game modes. While we're talking about behemoths, that brings me over to the next point, vehicles in general, multi-person vehicles to be even more exact. Battlefield 1 has such a wide variety of vehicles, everything from horses and motorcycles to huge tanks that can fit 5 people in them, and these are so much more fun to use than solo vehicles, as it allows you to cooperate with your squad on a new level. Say your tank is heavily damaged. Well, if the majority of your squad stays inside the tank and handles the guns, one person could jump out and repair the vehicle while being covered by his squad mates. Or if you're flying a bomber plane and need someone to handle the other planes giving you a hard time, well, you can simply have your squad member man the gun on the plane and shoot the enemies down. This is something I would love to see make a return in Battlefront. I have such fond memories from the old Battlefront games and the LAAT gunship manned with a crew of people. Next up, we have something which might seem to be a minor thing, but it's the fact that you can freely customize your loadout during a game, even unlock new weapons and gadgets during the actual game. This is really good as it gives you the opportunity to always customize your playstyle for what fits for the current map and situation, and you aren't locked down to a specific loadout like you are in Battlefront. In Battlefront you only have 2 hands to choose from, and they said that this was in order to limit how easily you can counter someone. So if someone is using a sniper and you don't have one in your 2 hands, you shouldn't be able to revenge kill them. I don't quite understand this argument, considering that Battlefield in general is considered to be more of a competitive game and Battlefront more of a casual game. So why not just make the customization completely free like in Battlefield 1, because I personally think that works a lot better and it removes the frustration of not being able to use the weapon or gadgets that you want in a specific situation. Moving on, we have the campaign in Battlefield 1. I have personally not played the whole campaign yet, as I'm all about multiplayer, but the little I've played has been a lot of fun, and the main point here isn't any particular part about the campaign, but it's the fact that they have a campaign at all, which Battlefront doesn't have. With the great reception of this game and their unique way of handling a campaign with a lot of smaller campaigns in one, it shows that they are capable of creating some very good single player stuff as well, so I really have my fingers crossed that the next Battlefront game will follow along Battlefield 1 on this topic. Conquest. It has always been a key game mode in Battlefield, and even the old Battlefront games had it. This tactical game mode allows you to freely choose where you want to go and battle it out. Do you want to flank the enemies with a horse, or parachute down behind them with a plane and then capture their objective in the back? Or do you want to go all in with tanks and 20 people just to push them out of their capture point in the middle of the map? Well, that is all up to you, and that's what I love about Conquest. You don't have to go to a specific point, but you have so many options to choose from, and that's also what makes it even more fun to play with friends. Because if you want to, you can go off with your squad on your own mission on one side of the map, when the rest of your teammates are trying to capture a completely other point. A very related topic to this is the spawning in Battlefield 1. Since the spawn screen is an actual map where you can see the objectives, vehicles, as well as your squad, it gives you a better opportunity to choose where you want to spawn in, and you won't just spawn in blindly at a random location. I realized it wouldn't work with the current system in Battlefront, but if they do add Conquest, this could definitely be a great improvement and let us choose either an objective or partner from the spawn screen to spawn on. Also, while we're talking about maps, I definitely think the minimap in Battlefield 1 works great, as you have a smaller minimap in the corner, but if you want to, you can enlarge it across the whole screen and still move around. And on this map, you see spotted enemies and vehicles, all objectives, your teammates, squad members, and so on, which gives you a great overview over the battlefield. Personally, this helps out a lot for someone like me who haven't played hundreds of hours of Battlefield 1 already and know all the maps, and I feel like it would be the same for Battlefront. At first, when you play the game, it got a bit confusing of where all the objectives are, what was going on, how does the map look, and so on. Right now it's not a big deal for me since I've played so much that I already know all the maps by heart, but I still think that a better map would be a good improvement for the next game. Next up, we have a very hot topic which I personally think Battlefield 1 pretty much nailed, which is the server finding system. In Battlefield 1 you can choose between a very simple quick match feature and a server browser. So if you're like me and usually just want to jump into a game no matter what, the quick match feature makes that a lot easier. But if you want to join up with a lot of friends at once on a specific map with specific rules and so on, there's a full-on server browser for you to browse through, and this is something Battlefront needs, to be honest. Now that the play base is quite low, at least on PC, it would help out if we could see all the servers that are up and running and choose one that fits us the best. And it would also allow for some very fun combinations, especially if we got free control over the rules. I don't see any reason to not have a server browser in the game, considering how well it worked for Battlefield. To finish up this video, I just wanted to kind of talk about the main thing about Battlefield 1 and Battlefield in general: huge, destructive and all-out epic battles with 64 players at once. This might be the main feature of Battlefield that brings so many people back to play this game. Just overlooking the battle from afar, seeing tanks rolling over the hills, behemoths in the sky and explosions everywhere really is an epic feeling. And so far I've mostly played 64 player modes, as I just love having a lot of people in a game at once. And although 40 players in Battlefront is quite a lot for the maps we currently have, I hope that they could bump up that number a little bit for the next game, especially if they add Conquest, as Conquest with 40 players might be a little bit too empty. But that brings this video and my thoughts on some of the best features in Battlefield 1 to an end. Obviously, some of the things I brought up are specifically made for Battlefield, and not everything works in Battlefront, but I definitely think there is quite a lot of things that can be learned from Battlefield 1 when making the next game, and I think you guys might agree with me on that. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what your favorite features in Battlefield 1 are if you've had the chance to play the game. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the horse be with you.